Howdy my dudes, Random Fight Fan here. This here is the second video with regards to my comments on things that Path of Exile 2 needs to improve to really reach its peak and potential. And without further ado, let's get back into it. Point number 12 is the crafting. Like, oh god, the crafting. I was so excited for the Recombinator, but getting sub 10% for two semi-decent stats is absolutely unacceptable. Like when I come here and I grab, say, here's 4.13% spear, and that 109% physical isn't much, 123, there we go. It's still not the highest. Here's like a level plus 5 to melee skills or projectile skills, whatever that is. We put those in, you'll see that it is way too low. 4.8% for two decent suffixes. Like, what even is that? It's only two skills. Let that be a decent chance. If it was three extremely high-end skills on your, or suffixes, prefixes, whichever it is, then sure, maybe bad chance for success. But less than 5% for two skills? It's completely unfun. It makes trying to use the Recombinator feel not worth it. I've basically stopped doing Expedition because of it. This was the thing I was most excited for when I heard it at the start of the season. I love the Recombinator in Path of Exile 1. It was honestly pretty much perfect, but as it is right now, it is just bad. And then also, this is locked behind finishing the campaign. If they wanted us to use only mid-tier skills on it, then make it available at the start of campaign so we can build actually decent items as we're leveling up. This, in its current state, would be great for making you leveling gear all throughout the campaign. You'd keep the drops with only one or two good mods, and then you'd flip them around with all the other items you find and actually make something decent and worthwhile that could get you through the levels. Like, that would be fantastic. But unfortunately, it's locked behind completing the campaign first, and when you're done the campaign, you only want the good mods, and if you're wanting the good mods, like you saw, sub 5% for two. And then on top of that, when you get the two mods that hit on that 5% chance, yay hurrah, you're still rolling the dice trying to get the other four mods, and because it's always a rare, you can't even use essences wherever I have them here. Like, you can't even use greater essences to force another good mod. So it's just very unfortunate. Like, please fix the Recombinator and the crafting in general. Just give us a little bit more wiggle room with the crafting, and the people will actually flock to it very well. I know the main comparison is Last Epoch. I've not touched it yet, but please, people love Last Epoch's crafting. Just let us have some crafting through the campaign and into the end game. It would actually feel rewarding. Now, point number 13, the campaign is fun, but it is definitely too long. I did a super rapid clear of the campaign after getting proper leveling gear, and certain areas were still kind of ridiculous. The areas felt a lot better, but not being able to take out basic packs after using full combos felt bad on the first run through. Bosses with multiple invulnerability phases also feels terrible. That is possibly a me thing, but I definitely don't like multiple invulnerability phases on bosses. I feel like that should be fixed. Now, the game mechanics for point number 14, they're still kind of too rare. Early game, farming splinters is a nightmare, and right now, even with 6 points into my simulacrum thing here, like, I get 6 points, and it still feels like I'm getting almost no drops. And I know that this may be fixed in point 2G, but we don't know that yet. We will see going forward, but right now it takes me about 20 maps to get one simulacrum, and that's if I'm using actual delirious maps the whole way through. It's unpleasant. Breach splinters were also heavily nerfed. They're coming through a lot better, though, than the simulacrum splinters at least, but I'm happy that they're accessible. Unique strongboxes are also too rare, and if I've done well over 100 maps, and like I've probably actually done like well over 200, while spec'd into researcher strongboxes, I only ever saw 2 of the unique strong boxes, like the Venture Gamble ones. I don't know if my luck is just terrible, but I've literally only seen 2 in my entire playthrough, and this is across both characters. It's kind of ridiculously low odds. The same thing with greater and elevated essences. Like, I started my early Atlas around essences, and they were never rewarding. I have a decent amount here, not because I was spec'd into essences, but because I found a couple of those unique maps that allow for the endgame boss that drops the higher, greater essences. That's the only reason why I have anything. Pretty much the everything around the Atlas strategy just doesn't feel good. You just want it to get you as much rarity and drops and waystone effect. Like, honestly, I've had or rituals where I needed 30,000 tribute to get 1 omen, and I brought it down with like everything that I could to try and bring the prices down, but 30,000 for 1 omen is basically unattainable for the average player. Like, you're gonna defer, but if the deferral cost is like 4,000, who's gonna be able to get it? Point 15, choosing what maps we would like to run would be incredible. There was a glitch there early on that said favored maps have been unlocked. I so wish that was real. Like, I don't want to run Mire. I don't want to run Trenches or any of those cave maps. Like, I'd be fine with having to go through a few in my early Atlas to kind of spec what I want to do, but for the most part, yeah. Once you get to tier 15 maps, you don't want to be forced to do Mire and all the other maps that you don't want to do. Like, please give us a chance to spec into the more favorable maps, and I guarantee that everybody would be happier, even if it was just by biomes. Like how when we come in here and it says like swamp and water biome, mountain biome, forest biomes, if we could spec to be into a certain one, like make it 100% more likely to happen, so like twice as likely, that would feel fantastic. Just small changes like that, I would love it. Please let us do that way. And I know with the current Citadel system, it swaps what the maps are. Maybe just have it break a rule or something. I don't know. Whatever you have to do, it'd make it feel so much better. And now, with that said, too few Citadels. Point 16, there's way too few Citadels. I am just blitzing through straight lines trying to get to as many Citadels as possible, and I basically hit a wall of just, I can't seem to find anything. There's nothing else around. I've done all the ones around me, and it's just, they're a little bit too few and far between. Again, this is akin to the Guardian maps in Path of Exile 1. It felt really, really good to be able to do the Guardians because boss fights are fun. I want to do more boss fights. Not every class or build can do the boss fights, but if you're speccing towards more boss fights, you want to do the boss fights. So please, let us get more Citadels, or like spawn them some way. Maybe it's something on the towers. Maybe it's like a rare precursor type. Yeah, please let us have some way to spawn more towers, because as it is, there are, or not towers, spawn more Citadels, because as it is, there are no Citadels, and unfortunately, with how long it takes to prep a Citadel, it's just unfortunate how long this takes. I've spent like literally an hour just going in a straight line trying to find more Citadels and not finding any. It was maybe just really unlucky, but it felt bad. Now, point 17, you need to be able to search the mods and maps on the Atlas. So it's also made worse by the long delay in loading the Atlas, so you'll often get like fog or just empty squares when you're trying to go down to certain places. Like if I come down here, off like here where it's grayed out with blankness, right here is my Reliquary altar. If I want to do Reliquary keys, I have to wait for this to load. It's just terrible. I'm not too sure exactly what the fix is, other than just making it render faster. But like, there we go. We finally have the Reliquary vault visible. Imagine having to do that with every key. What I've had to do is put a bookmark at the top there, which is a wonderful new change. Opening this map and then just immediately going to hit the Reliquary vault for all my keys. That is the only way that's felt even remotely worth it. And Yeah, it's very unfortunate. Now, point number 18. There's definitely some quality improvements that need to be borrowed from Path of Building. Let us zoom out more because, ooh, that feels good to zoom out. Searching certain nodes and seeing, like, I don't know, freeze. Seeing how it's a bright red outline makes it really easy to see what's going on and where. Whereas, comparatively, in the game, this is as far as we can zoom out. And if I want to type in freeze, well, it's kind of hard to tell. Like, this here kind of blends in, really. Like, if you don't know what you're looking for or where you're looking for it, you can very easily miss this. This just does not pop. Take some quality of life features from Path of Building and just import it into the game. We'll be happy with it. Everybody would be happy with it. When we search for things, we just want to see it. Now, point number 19, kind of back to the Atlas here, and it is with the whole Reliquary vaults. When we go to the Reliquary vault here, the walk is too far. Have the distance, put the vault in, or the chest in the first room, simple change, make it a lot better. It's just too long of a walk. Point number 20, reduce the damage from inanimate objects. Make it so that a player won't accidentally get one shot by lightning bolts from strongboxes, meteors from shrines, or tornadoes from altars. These are really bad ways to die, and it does not feel warranted. Especially in the most recent case I had, where a mob wasn't spawning in a ritual, and the tornado backed me into a corner because it was a long corridor with no way to get out. Like, only the meteors seem somewhat fair because of the little highlights on the ground, but even then, they're a little bit too much with all the other effects going on everywhere. Sometimes you just don't see it. It's really unfortunate to get one shot by a meteor when you're walking up to the altar to click on it. And number 21, one shot abilities with little warning or during invincibility phases are not fun at all. The obvious one is the Viper fight in the campaign. They have a lot of ways to take you out during invincibility phases. Arbiter is really bad for how many one-shot abilities it has during invincibility phases. And then there's also still the hourglass mechanic that is going to be getting fixed as per one of the GGG interviews. But it's still in the game. It needs to be fixed. Like, yeah, these abilities don't need to do as much damage, or if they do, let the defensives that we have matter more against them. Like, let armor work against big hits. Let evasion allow for glancing blows to like maybe half of the damage of certain hits, kind of thing. Make it kind of like a pseudo armor mechanic when you do get hit. Roll it a second time for glancing hits. That would be pretty good too. And let energy shield just stay energy shield. It's in a good place right now. Point number 22, leveling is still ridiculous. The current rate of XP gain at high levels is atrocious. Like, really atrocious. It feels amazing for about 1 to 85, but after that it craters off a cliff. Obviously, because we can only get to certain map levels, and then it just really slows down a lot. That's fine, that's fair. But getting to level 96 or 97 felt about as difficult as getting to level 100 in Path of Exile 1, and that was already ridiculously difficult. Level 100 in Path of Exile 2 is basically unattainable unless you're putting in an ungodly amount of hours with an unkillable character. I feel like this needs to be toned back a little bit. Maybe make, say, level 98 be the experience you need to get to level 100, because even level 98 is a monstrous ask for most people, but at least it would make the other levels feel a lot better. Like, I'm not saying exactly what would need to go into that, but yeah, level 100 right now is just unattainable and it's unfun. And that is the end of part 2. Part 3 in this series will be coming out shortly. I hope that you can let me know what you do and don't agree with. If there's any other comments that you'd like to make in here, I'd love to hear them regarding things that may actually help GGG improve their game. I would love to get that out in the open as well. Not bashing, just actual constructive criticism. But with that said, I hope you enjoyed the content. Like and sub if you did, and if you didn't, don't. Either way, I appreciate all you dudes. See ya.